Put your zaza. Put your zaza.
Jonge apa ne?
Yeah. Yeah.
Has been selected as an accessible gateway to the breathtaking, culturally rich Wild Coast, a region that embodies the essence of Eastern Cape adventure and discovery.
This is my story. This is his story. This is the keeper of our story. This and dance at sight of the gifts you bear. My story will echo over the plains of the Karoo. My spirit will give flight and fly free over this land. To birth hope, destiny, and dreams.
But the other issues insofar as the land ownership, partnership, those are intricate issues that you must appreciate. There's land ownership issues, who owns the land, whether it's restituted, whether communities own, the management of those relationships between the different government departments, forestry, and ourselves, all those issues.
In terms of development, the people that are staying in that area will remain having access to. You know, let me give you an example. In Kokam, I come from Sarapakman.
Mr. Ross, it's good to be in your area in the Wild Coast. So today's event is about the launching of the summer season for the Eastern Cape. So from the things that you've mentioned inside, what are the key prospective areas that you think that the government and the community should focus on in making sure that tourism develop and strive in the Wild Coast area?
Well, firstly, welcome and thank you for the opportunity. There definitely are key elements. The first is safety. It is crucial to our area. It's hampered our bookings for this season, and the summer launch is essential because this is when we normally make hay while the sun shines. Due to supply and demand, everybody wants to get away for the festive season, so we need to ensure that we're ready to welcome our guests and ensure their safety. The second one is, of course, roads. Are the roads in good condition? We're a summer rainfall area, so they can deteriorate overnight, and that hampers the time to travel and, of course, the safety of your people when they're stuck with two punctures. They're very vulnerable, and the communities themselves can play a vital role in protecting the visitors to the area. warning us if there's some suspicious characters roaming around that are not usual to the area. If they report them, we can call in the authorities and question them or have them removed from the area. So yes, thank you. It's vital because, as you say, summer season is when we make money. We are the only employers along this portion of the coast, so the communities rely on us for employment. And if we're full, we have to employ more people. We have to take on casuals, train them, and who knows, they could find themselves a permanent job if they show aptitude.
So now my next question is, from dealing with these issues that are happening in the Wild Coast, what efforts have you made in meeting government halfway, or what efforts is the government making in making sure that they are trying to assist and making sure that your businesses thrive, and when they strive they will grow, and then the economy in the Wild Coast area will become a hub the way it's supposed to be? What efforts?
We definitely have. We've approached. I've very fortunate enough to know that Vuyani, the CEO of ECPTA, often asks me for an update, and I stress upon him the importance that ECPTA can't do everything. Yes. There are other departments that are involved, and when you've got all the role players around the table, we can actually succeed in overcoming these obstacles. So we do try. I think it could get better. We definitely know it can get better, but we've all got to play our part. Some of us are out here not just to make money, to create experiences and to attract people back to our area. The more come back, the merrier everybody is.
So your final words, can you say that the Wild Coast is ready to host tourists for this coming summer, for the summer season as we're opening today? Are you ready to host the influx of people that will be coming to the Wild Coast?
We definitely are. We've put some private security measures into place ourselves. I heard the Deputy Provincial Commissioner saying that there's going to be far more visible policing this year. The roads, it's only one or two that are in really bad shape. As you could see coming down to Morgan Bay today, this is like driving through Sandton.
Yes.
So yes, we're definitely open for business. We're ready. We're welcoming every single person, day visitor or long stays, more than welcome to arrive on the Wild Coast.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ross. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Doctor, welcome on the Tourism Podcast. It's good to have you here as a guest, as part of this event that is happening as we are in Morgan's Bay for the launch of the summer season. Do you feel like the Wild Coast, as things are, is it ready to be welcoming people this summer?
Yeah, thank you for having me on the podcast. I think the Wild Coast is 280 kilometers long. So when you're talking about the Wild Coast, some of the areas are ready, but other areas need a lot of work to be done, and they need the safety issues and infrastructure to be improved before they're ready for welcoming guests and welcoming tourists.
Okay, one of the most important key things that you've mentioned while you were inside, hole in the wall should be listed as a priority in the province. Why do you say that?
Well, Table Mountain is the most recognized natural feature in South Africa. The second most recognized natural feature in South Africa is hole in the wall. And Table Mountain gets like 4.2 million visitors a year. Hole in the Wall just gets a few hundred visitors in a year. I mean, it's an iconic feature for the Eastern Cape, an iconic feature for South Africa. So it should be looked after and should be marketed better than what it currently is, and it should be an attraction for tourists to come through to the Eastern Cape.
So what do you think needs to be done in order to receive that draw card as a province, to attract as many tourists as we're supposed to be? What is it that we need to do as a province?
Well, the first thing is that that area's got to get managed. You've got to find out who all owns and controls that land. The Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, DFFE, they've got a responsibility because a lot of the area around Hole in the Wall is actually demarcated forest. It's declared forest. And they're not managing it. So it's full of alien species. The forest is being chopped out. There's a lot of litter. There's even rubbish dumps around there. The area is being destroyed. There are even land grabs that are taking place around Hole in the Wall. So that's all got to stop. There's got to be a management authority taking charge of what's happening at Hole in the Wall. And that's got to be done in consultation with the communities around that area, the people of Hole in the Wall, the indigenous population of that particular area, Hole in the Wall, Coffee Bay, have all got to buy into the project. And then you've got to manage it. You're going to have people on the ground employed like old forest guards of old that used to patrol those areas. The security's got to be beefed up because currently you've got bogus tour guides that arrive. They're usually drunk. A lot of them are on drugs, and then they demand money. Some of them pickpocket or steal things from people. Cars get broken into. That doesn't attract tourists. That just keeps people away.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you. It's good. It was good to have you.
Thanks. Okay.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc. Thina abantwini ngompa umyalezo nawe ebantwini abasezindleleni.
No, I think into ebalulekileyo into yobana si-realize ubana i-summer season yase-Eastern Cape is now officially launched. Yeah? So it means therefore that abantu, they've got a right to go out and enjoy themselves. But what we're saying is that people must start enjoying themselves responsibly. You know? Now what the agency has done is to launch Le summer is here now, meaning that Amatole now is in the center stage in terms of tourism for the Eastern Cape. So let's take advantage of that as Amatole and behave responsibly, enjoy ourselves responsibly. Amatole is opened for business.
Thank you very much. Siyabulela Mhlakazi. Ku-Tourism Podcast. Njengoba size kulo msitho of the opening of the summer by ECPTA. Eyona nto engxaki ebantwini abaninzi xa befuna ukuza kule ndawo sikuyo e-Wild Coast yonke unyuka yi-safety, which is ukukhuseleka kwe-tourist nabantu abaza kweli cala. Kwicala lakho njengomnye we-general basemapoliseni, ungathi abantu mabazive njani xa bakweli cala? Ingaba ni-ready na for eli hlobo nale summer yalo nyaka?
Njengokuba benitshilo ngokuba ndithetha ngaphakathi phaya, siredi for isama yalo nyaka. Ndizawubalula ke ndenje ndithi iprovince okokuqala yazithatha i-database yayo yonke indima eyi-tourist site, indawo eyi-tourist site, ukwenzela ukubana ngaba ikwazi ukuzipolisa nokwazi ukuyazi bayibeka uxanduva kookhomanda abathile abapolisa ezo ngingqi ze-sites. Normally ke apha ingakumbi nalapha Wild Coast, although ubona nawe asinazo indawo zokubana ngaba singathi sinayo ikampi zamahashe, kodwa nxa kufika ngeli xesha siyathumela ukudeploya amahashe azokwazi ukupatrola i-coast nabantu abalapha ngaphakathi ukwenzela uba bazifilishe besafe. And further than that, zikhona i-resources ezifakiweyo when we were launching the festive season into different police stations, so that at least this festive season people can feel safe.
Enye into ke ngotata, into yokhuseleko kwabantu ayithanda uba yingxaki enkulu xa abantu abahlala abakwi-community nabo bencedisana nalento. So abantu apha ku-Wild Coast banjani? Ngaba nabo iyabothusa lento, bayancedisana namapolisa ekuzameni ukunqanda lento yenzekayo?
Kakhulu abantu base-Wild Coast bayancedisana namapolisa. Uzawufika kukho ii-groups ngee-groups zo-WhatsApp kwimedia apho barepota zonke activities ezingaqondakaliyo ukwenzela uba amapolisa ahlale e-alert. Kuba bendisitsho ke nalapha sinazo ii-structures esizisebenzisayo, community policing forums, sinazo ii-sector crime forums, sinazo i-traditional policing concept apho sidila khona kunye neenkokheli zabo zokuhlala, including the spiritual crime prevention, so that we can interact with the community so that they are and feel safe.
So ngaphandle amagama uthi abantu mabakhululeke beze Wild Coast bakhulule ibhaji zabo.
Kakuhle tata pha bafike baziphathe kakuhle nabo kuba kaloku ne safety luxanduva lakhe umuntu naye akufanelanga uzibeke kwi position yokuba uzibone ulixhobo funeka soloko uzigadile nawe kwindawo okuyo. Wana bangeza abantu bakhululeke bangahambela bazakonwaba kumalwandle wethu.
Hayi ke tata siyabulela kakhulu. Inkosi tata. CEO siyakwamkela kwi tourism podcast namhlanje ngelusuku lihle kakhulu of the launch of the summer in the Eastern Cape, not only here but we're talking about the entire province, a beautiful province, blessed with abundance in terms of culture, history, heritage, and also the natural vegetation, which is why I believed it's a Wild Coast in namhlanje. Uyaphila Prof?
Ndiyaphila Mhlakazi, enkosi kakhulu man. Thank you for having us. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Tell us so to the viewer at home who is watching this interview with you, what can you say in terms of summer to those who were not here? What can you say summer yase Eastern Cape is abanjani lo nyaka?
I think the Eastern Cape is poised, positioning itself as a destination of choice for the summer. Mm-hmm. Our ability to curate an experience where you can go to the beach. You heard us talking about blue flag status. Mm-hmm. The rollout of that program ensures that the water quality in our beaches meets the standard. So that's one. Mm-hmm. The second point linked to that is that we have an opportunity. Whilst you're at the beach, you're not far from the safari. You can have a bit of both. Mm-hmm. Elsewhere, it's not possible to have all of those. Mm-hmm. But not just the safari in the form of the Big Five. You have a safari experience in the form of a Big Seven in the Eastern Cape, if you include the whales and sharks as part of the experience. So that positions us differently. But the third point, which is important for this summer, is a diversification of the product offering that appreciates our history and heritage and our culture specifically. And every time we get to this season, the display that goes with the appreciation of our culture in the form of ceremonies, homecomings, in different forms. This is proof that people are reflecting on their culture, enjoying where they come from. But importantly, this is rooted in the heritage of what we have. You have as the province, I mean, if you talk the World Heritage Site that has been the Bavian's Kloof, you have the pronouncement by in the early last year of the Liberation Route, Tata Mkhekezweni being part of that. You've got Forte being part of that. So these are experiences that position us a bit different. But what we're also seeing outside of this is the outdoor activity. People are beginning to appreciate going out from a hiking trail point of view. If you talk the Wild Coast, which is the beginning of where we are now, the Morgans, I mean Kwatlach, you are seeing an explosion. People used to do hiking trails on foot. There's a drive to do it on horse ride. There's also a drive to do it on the 4x4, and sometimes they are using quad bikes. So different people, irrespective of their challenges physically, there's this realization that you can still enjoy your hiking trail on horse, on foot, 4x4 or quad bike, and this is part of but what is important is the location of the accommodation facilities in that road, so that people do it, stop overnight, they sleep, enjoy a good meal, refresh and move on. What is important in the Wild Coast is the integration of those accommodation facilities with the homestays, where people are immersing themselves in the experiences and the authentic experiences of our local people. They stay kwezazindlu batya umngqusho. bondlale pha bahlambe kwi Vasco
amanzi
abekwe phandle pha abanye babo you'll be surprised international tourists bayotheza inkuni bafike babasi baxova isonka babhake ngebhackboat.
That is what we
That is authentic experiences. And when they show people outside back home in the countries that they come from, people are amazed about how these ordinary people lead their everyday life. And that's what, from a cultural heritage point of view, we're selling as an offering. So we are a province that has got a bit of everything, and the summer, with all the challenges financially that households have, if you drive and you visit the Eastern Cape, it's a budget destination. You can do all other things whilst you still within budget, and that's how we are positioning the province. The partnership that we are having with the other departments in the form of transport, ensuring that there's safety on our roads, and they have got the transport rangers, the Department of Transport, to guide people in terms of other things like your stray animals, but also guiding people in terms of directions, and those are your additional numbers insofar as the tourism support that you have, because when a person has been guided correctly to reach their destination, it's good for tourism, and that's one. But the other point that is important for us is the optics around the partnership with the SAPs when it comes to a perception of safety. In some instances, you can do numbers that will confirm if what people say, what makes them not to want to travel. You can come with numbers that say whatever that you want to say, but a perception that there is a safety issue is something that has propelled us to do something about that safety matter. And that's why the collaboration with SAPS. I mean, you had the relationship with the different districts, the location, and they've an audit of the different hotspots where people want to go from a tourism point of view. So those sites that they've identified where there are numbers of people going, they are linking those sites with the respective police stations, so that when something happens there's a best way of engaging with the local support in an event there is a safety concern there. So we're working with them, and we appreciate that work with SAPS. It's a good work, but also on the general issues like the protection of our wildlife. That is also important for us, because if that wildlife is not looked after, including our marine resources, it will kind of discourage people from traveling, because they will want certain animals or certain species that they want to see. When they don't see them, what's the point of coming? So the partnership with SAPS to ensure that we protect our wildlife is a kind of a preservation of the tourism offering that will ensure that it's there for future. So it's important that our relationship with SAPS is not a once-off festive season relationship. I think we can special. It's a relationship that we have throughout the year, just to make sure that we have a beautiful province that is endowed with the resources that we have. So we see this launch every year as a beautiful opportunity to reflect, but also importantly, you wind down, you let your guard down as a person who's sitting home, and you're saying the Eastern Cape is there for taking. It is there for people to explore.
Umbuzo wami phambi kokugqibela, in your own understanding, tourism has been launched now. Who are we talking to? Are we talking to domestic tourists or everyone who comes within the province? So
the decision to travel, if you were international traveler, would have been made by now. So that's the reality. So that's why in the different international platforms, in collaboration with other entities, be it in the form of ECPTA, the local municipalities or the metros, when abroad we communicate that our country is calling, but the Eastern Cape is yours to explore. So that by now you've got confirmed people that will be coming. And those numbers are growing very well. We're still not where we were before COVID. There was a stage around 2019, we're around 400,000, but the numbers are increasing very well. We've clocked the 300,000 mark after COVID. So it's a good growth if you look at that picture. But the campaign that we have is intended for the domestic traveler. We are engaging those ones to say, you want to come, there is something that you can do in the province. That's why in the input by the MEC, it says from the Sunshine Coast to the Karoo, you talk Wild Coast, to the Drakensberg. Every district, every community has got a story to tell about how beautiful this province is. And part of the campaigns that we've shared, insofar as the events, I mean, I can't overemphasize the point, that these are triggers for encouraging domestic traveling. If other people will pick up the calendar of what's going to happen in the different districts, that's why there's a geographic spread of those activities from Alfred Nzo to Sarah Patman and Jokabi, right across Amatole, Krisani. You'll find that every district there is an activity. So if you are in the art, creative industry, you want to follow that up, there's no way that you will be able to do an in and out in any of this. It will force you to sleep. When you sleep over, you spend. You contribute to the economy of that area. You contribute to the retention of jobs. So what we're talking about when it comes to this campaign is that there are those that we know that they are looking up to what is there. So we want to retain those. But also we are saying to those that have not done the travel,
this is the time.
This is the time to do that. But maybe sometimes the reason is maybe it would have been a perception around safety. We are saying we are working with SAPS to ensure that the product offering is secured. You can go and visit. So that's one. But the second point linked to that, you might have not been traveling because of economic reasons. We're saying curate through the bucket list that we're sharing a product offering that will fit your budget. There's a bit of everything within that bucket list of the things that you can do within budget. So that's the point. So we want to retain our market share in terms of the numbers, domestic numbers last year, 6 million. We want to increase those numbers to have more people having come to the province. But also as you curate that product offering from the bucket list, we're also saying enjoy your culture, enjoy who you are, appreciate who you are. Go out a bit. You know, it has been a long year, hard year. When you go out, it's not necessarily an expression that you've got everything figured out. It's an opportunity to stay back, drop your guard, recharge, reinvigorate yourself, come back refresh in the new year. And at your doorstep, as the MEC was also reflecting at your doorstep, there's a lot that you can do within the budget, within the resources that you have. If you can't afford to sleep, go out and eat. When you do that, you still contribute to tourism. And when you travel, that filling station that you pumping fuel in benefits in terms of the job creation that you do. So the point for me is that there's a bit of everything within the province. Those who want to try something new, there's an opportunity for that. Those that have been our patrons, who have been doing it, it's a season to say welcome back. Thank you.